If you're managing projects or just stepping into the world of project management, you probably come across a lot of jargon that sounds like a foreign language. Don't worry, you are not alone. In this video, I'm breaking down the 10 must-know project management terms every project manager needs to have in their toolkit. These aren't just buzzwords, they are foundations that will help you communicate effectively. So let's dive into project management lingo that you need to know. Project charter. Let's start with the definition of a project, which is an initiative with a start and end date, with tasks that result in a specific outcome and is temporary in nature. Because of this, a project charter is your ultimate starting point. It is a high-level roadmap that aligns everyone on the project's goals and expectations from the get-go. Here's what it typically includes. It defines a project purpose, summarizes and clarifies the scope, which is really important, outlines high-level ins and outs, project deliverables, assumptions, risks, major milestones. Trust me, this document is non-negotiable. Without it, you're essentially trying to navigate without a map. In fact, when I work with my students in my SLAY project management program, the project charter template is one of their absolute favorites. I always hear how much easier it is for their projects, and it's like a secret weapon. So don't skip this step. Before we dive into the next term, I got something that you will not want to miss. Have you checked out my free webinar yet? If you've ever felt stuck or overwhelmed mid-project, chances are it's because some key steps were skipped right at the beginning. In this training, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set up your project up for success from day one. It's packed with practical tips you can start using right away. The link is down below. Don't wait to check it out. It's free. It may just be a game changer you need. Priority matrix. Let's talk about the priority matrix, a must-have tool any project manager must have. This is a simple, powerful matrix that helps you identify which key elements, scope, time, or budget are non-negotiable and which ones have some wiggle room. So why does this even matter? Because as a PM, it is your job to stay laser focused on project pitfalls. It's a guiding light for decision making and keeps everyone, including stakeholders, aligned on the original plan. But here's the real magic of the priority matrix. It's your secret weapon against scope creep. Those unexpected additions or changes that can completely derail a project if left unchecked. Speaking of scope creep, let's break that down next. Scope creep. Scope creep is uncontrolled change to a project scope due to interference from a stakeholder, or worse yet, a project manager's misunderstanding. This is a major pitfall that is something I warn all my coaching students to be on guard against, because scope creep can actually totally derail a project and lead to missed deadlines, blown budgets, and really unhappy stakeholders. So managing scope creep and preventing scope creep is your job as a PM. The key to doing this is setting it up properly in the initial stages. So let me tell you how to do that. You want to clarify the scope in the scope statement and charter, have everyone sign off on those documents, put a change control process in place to help you deal with stakeholders who are always asking for additions to your project. Just that one little thing. I have another video all about this. You can go to the YouTube search bar, type in Adriana Girdler, scope creep. Stakeholder alignment. Stakeholder alignment is all about ensuring that key stakeholders, now who are these people? Senior executive, project sponsor, steering committee, team members, clients, are all on the same page regarding project agreements. Now, as a PM, you do this by outlining project objectives, scope, roles, responsibility, timing, milestones, and this is all in your project charter. Once done, and this is the important step, set up a meeting with your key stakeholders to get agreement and sign off. During the life cycle of the project, use the charter as a tool to remind everyone what they agreed to, really to help maintain your alignment. Steering committee. Let's talk about steering committees. The powerhouse behind your project success. Yeah, really, it's true. Think of them, the steering committee, as the project's governing body. This group plays a critical role in keeping your project on track. They approve direction of your project, remove project roadblocks, help resolve challenges, provide resource and funding, and act as a champion for the project both internally and externally. Now, depending on the complexity of your project, your steering committee may include, we all know, right, the project sponsor, definitely business owners who will be receiving the project deliverables, senior executives from key departments that are involved in your project, and even your manager to ensure you have the right support. With a steering committee backing you, I promise you got a powerful support system to guide you to your project success. Kickoff meeting. This is the first touchpoint meeting you have with your project team members where you share the project charter and finalize the action plan, allowing your team to start working on the project the very next day. Something important I tell all of my Slave project management students is that the project kickoff meeting is not the first thing that you do on the project. I know, surprise, surprise. It happens after you get the steering committee to approve your charter and project direction. Now, why is this? Because the kickoff meeting is a working session. It needs to be well planned out for it to be a success. A good kickoff meeting will last for half a day, sometimes even a full day, depending on activities. So do not try to cram everything into a 1 hour meeting. Trust me, it will not work. A well-planned kickoff meeting sets the tone for everything that follows. So really take your time and make it count. Resource allocation. Resource allocation is a game changer in project management. It's all about assigning and managing the resources, people, time, and funding. These are essential to complete your project task and hit your goals. Now, as I mentioned in my last tip, your steering committee plays a big role here. They're the ones who provide you the resources you need, and it's your job to allocate them wisely. So, how do you ensure resource allocation sets up your project for success? Well, the key is understand the project goals and priorities, identify critical tasks and assigning resources according to those tasks to avoid bottlenecks, monitoring resource availability and workload to prevent burnout and overwork, being flexible and ready to reallocate resources if priorities shift or changes arise. WBS. Now, WBS stands for Work Breakdown Structure, and it's a key project technique to help you understand what you must do to make your project successful. At its core, the WBS helps you understand exactly what needs to happen to make your project a success. It breaks down projects into manageable chunks, showing you all the moving parts so nothing gets missed. The WBS can be organized into multiple levels. So think of it like an org chart, and I'm letting you know it's a great tool to help you create your detailed action plan. And I call that the WBS action plan because it's an essential tool for tracking your project progress and communicating status updates. Here's a tip I give all of my Slave PM students. Spend time teaching your team how to use the WBS. When they're familiar with it, you'll spend way less time chasing them for updates. And for my Slave Pro students, this is one of the documents they create using my Project AI tool. It saves them time and ensures they never miss a critical task or an important deadline, especially on complex projects. Change management. Change is inevitable in projects and in organizations, but usually it's not managed effectively. And that's where change management comes into play. Now, change management is a structured approach to planning, implementing, and monitoring change to ensure smooth transition and ideally minimal disruptions. It is not just about adjusting processes, it's about helping people successfully adopt change to achieve organizational success or project goals. So why is it important? Because it helps people and organizations prepare for the change, plan and manage change, and more importantly, reinforce and sustain change. Mastering change management is essential for any project manager. It's the key to turning resistance into results. After action review. This is also known as an AAR. It's a structured review or debrief that captures lessons learned and supports future improvements. It can also be conducted, what's really nice, at any point of your project, like after a meeting, project milestones, when issues crop up, or at the end of the project. So what does an AAR look like? Well, it's a simple one-pager that looks at three things: what was supposed to happen, what actually happened, and what lessons can be applied. AARs are valuable for guiding future projects, improving team performance, and for your own personal growth. So make AARs a regular part of your process to drive continuous improvement. Now that you've got a solid grasp on key project management terms, be sure to save your seat for my free project management training. You'll discover 5 essential elements that will help you master every project you take on. I'll place the link for you down below. If you still have questions about resource allocation, I'll break it all down for you in this next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you found this video helpful, I'd be grateful if you gave this video a thumbs up. See you in the next video.